From $40 to $115,
Right.
is that right?
Right.
Okay.
They were at $1.60, and this proposal has them at $4.60.
Okay, then just leave line item 2. I'll just leave line item 2 alone.
Okay.
What?
Leave that at 115.
Leave it at
So if I
115.
track
Just
your
leave it.
changes now, you're saying move line item 1, the proposal, from $5 to $6. Move
Correct.
line item 9 from $5 to $6.
Yes,
Leave line item 12 alone. Line item 14 from 287 down to 237.
correct.
And at $50 a trip, or a purchase, we had 3,033 purchases. 33 times 50. That would reduce revenue, that one change from 287 to 237 would reduce theoretical revenue by $150,000. Now,
But you may increase riders usage.
yeah, because this is sort of a fake number, because I'm
Yeah.
using the 3,000 quantity from 2009, and we know it will be something less than that with this big increase. So, Councilmember, did you have your hand up? Yeah, she's just doing the math. So, Councilmember Mann?
I would propose a friendly amendment on line item 2 to make that $90, because that would just be consistent with the $2 increase per ride, to go from 40 to 90 instead of 40 to 115.
Well, okay, first off, I guess you would have to see if Councilmember Kirschner would accept that
Yeah,
as
I
a
was going to let her
friendly.
think of that for a while.
I'm not opposed to it, Councilmember Mann. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to find the 150,000 plus the decrease that you're proposing. And
Well, it may not be 150,000. Buck isn't going to do it on the other one.
I think this special needs generates about $7,500, $7,800, which is
If
not
they're buying the
close.
multi-ride instead of the special needs, okay.
Right.
So how much, 7,800? Okay,
I believe.
just a quick review of the numbers. The raising the passenger pedestrian from 5 to 6 raises, and this is all assuming there's no decrease in ridership, which is an incorrect assumption, so I realize that. That would increase $30,000 on that line item. Bicycle with rider only increases, well, it's only 635 purchased, so that would be about 18,000 there, something like that. But the real drop, you're still looking at that $150,000 drop by lowering line item $1,450. Now, that's a theoretical drop from a theoretical number that we increased it, so I realize I'm talking in abstractions here. But whatever you have, and I don't have the chart for option 11 here, but you essentially reduced it about over $100,000 still by dropping that one item by that much. So do you have your chart number 11? How close does that get us to reaching our goals? Oh, here it is. Okay, so it was if the ridership didn't drop, it was going to exceed the target by $200,000 anyway. So you basically had a neutral or slightly.
Okay, right now, the line item 14 comes out to $11.48 a ride.
At 287, right?
Correct. So that is actually, I just want to get it to the point where we're at $12 or under, so that we don't push people out of cars and risk losing our revenue, the biggest generator of revenue.
Well, let's see. $12 times 25 is
Okay.
300. So yeah, it was under 12 at 287. Would you say
What was it
1148 or
before,
something?
though? And before it was $6.40.
Right. So I'm still trying to understand, are you proposing the drop down to 237 there?
Yes, I'll just keep that on the table. I'll propose that.
Okay, so Councilmember Kirschner moves to raise line 1 to $6, line 9 to $6, and drop line 14 to 237. That's your motion?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to speak against the motion because I think the drop on line 4, the drop on line 14, in my opinion, is going to be too much based on that we are going to face reduced ridership. We don't know how much it is. It's going to be quite substantial. And I think dropping this 150,000, we could only survive that if we had no decrease in ridership, according to the chart on option 11. But with that decrease of either 20% or 25% in personal vehicle use, and I think we would, the other challenge we're going to have here is any decrease in personal vehicle use is going to put a big problem in parking because people are still going to need to move, and I'm not sure how we're going to address that. So I guess maybe that's an argument in favor of dropping it. I don't know. Councilmember Nelson?
I had a question. And my understanding is the big problem is during peak travel time. The ferry's full, and then non-peak times, it's not full.
Yeah, there are certainly times early in the morning and later in the evening where it's not operating at capacity. When you have runs at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and towards midnight, it's not operating at capacity at all.
And so have we taken into account of pulling back an hour or 2 hours?
We did some rough evaluations, and essentially we could probably reduce our costs in the neighborhood of $100,000, just under $100,000 by reducing an hour in the morning and 2 to 3 hours in the evening.
So what would
Those
be
are
the
our
last
preliminary
run?
evaluations. Last run would probably be in the neighborhood of 9 o'clock or 9:30. But there's a whole variety of things that we have to go through with organized labor and things like that if we want to make that kind of an adjustment as
That
well.
might be
Any
something
kind
for
of
the council
adjustment,
to keep
actually.
in mind. And then the other thing was, if we have a lower ridership, is there a way of reflecting multi-rides pricing in two different formats, one for, peak time, one for non-peak time?
Yeah, I suppose it's possible. But there again, everything drives those administrative costs that everybody's concerned about as well,
Right.
so.
Well, that's what I'm
Well,
thinking.
you're
is-
thinking,
is
oh, it'd just be a surcharge during certain
In other words,
times?
we can take the price at peak times and have that reflective here, and non-peak time could be reflective of the lower prices, and that gives people a choice of when they want to ride.
I'm not sure how you do that with a multi-ride ticket, though.
Well,
Unless
you
you-
have to
unless
have two
you-
sets of multi-rides, or
Wow.
that gives them a choice.
Yeah, or as Dewey suggested, or maybe just an extra surcharge during certain times, which would have to be a cash type thing, I suppose. You'd
During
handle more
peak time.
cash. That's an idea we're talking about here, I guess, yeah.
Well, I'm
So
trying to throw
what a-
some new perspectives out. If we're going to
Sure.
lose, if we lower it, if you lower it $100,000, it's the peak time that's causing the driving force here. So I would not like to lower it on the peak time as much as on the non-peak time. And so if we could just have that price reflected as a surcharge, 287, or even all the vehicles reflected as a surcharge during peak time,